In the fifth and final section of our lecture, now we will talk about some other speech disorders. And these speech disorders which we will discuss in this section will be hyponasality, hypernasality, and also stuttering. So first, hyponasality, also known as rhinolaryngoscopy. So hyponasality, hypo means low, hyper is high. So hyponasality or rhinolaryngoscopy. It is a lack of nasal resonance for words which are resonated in the nasal cavity. So hyponasality, as the name shows, it's a self-explanatory term. The resonance of the words which is resonated in the nasal cavity is decreased. So it is a lack of nasal resonance for words which are resonated in the nasal cavity, hyponasality. It is, what are the causes that leads to hyponasality? If there is blockage of nose or nasopharynx. So a lot of times when there is obstruction or blockage of the nasal cavity in common colds, flus, or some other condition, the resonance of the words is decreased. So that's hyponasality. Causes of hyponasality, we have common cold or adenoids which cause the obstruction of the airway or nasal cavity. Then the nasal allergies which cause nasal obstruction, nasal polyps and growth, nasopharyngeal mass, familial speech pattern, and if it's habitual also. Some people talk in low voices also, their words are not resonated properly, that's a habit also, so it's habitual also. So these are some causes of hyponasality. Then we have hypernasality and rhinolaryngoscopy aperta. And this again, there is increased resonance of the words. This is normal speech resonate through mouth, resonates through nose. So in hypernasality, we have what's this condition? It is seen when certain words having little nasal resonance are resonated through nose. So this is hyper-resonation of words, that was hypo resonance of the words. This is due to defect in failure of nasopharynx to cut off from oropharynx. So nasopharynx is not cut off from the oropharynx. We know we have three parts of the pharynx. We have nasopharynx behind the nose, oropharynx behind the mouth, and then hypopharynx. So in this, the cutoff between the nasopharynx and oropharynx is not present. Failure of cutoff. It's abnormal communication between oral and nasal cavity is present. Next, causes of hypernasality, we have velopharyngeal insufficiency, congenital short soft palate, submucous palate, large nasopharynx, cleft of soft palates. Cleft palate is also soft palate paralysis. Adenoidectomy, when all adenoids are removed, it's also present after that. Oronasal fistula, when it is present, there is communication between the nose and the oral cavity. Familial speech pattern, and habitual speech patterns. So pretty much the habitual, familial, these are few causes that are common between hyponasality and hypernasality. So, and besides that, we have paralysis of the palate, cleft of the palate, large nasopharynx. All these are some conditions that can cause hypernasality. Next, third condition which we will discuss in this section is the stuttering. It's a common disorder. Lot of people, they stutter. So stuttering is a disorder of fluency of speech and consists of hesitation to start. They hesitate to start, repetitions, prolongations, or block in the flow of speech. All these are, these people cannot speak fluently, they repeat the words, and they have long blocks between the speech. Develop secondary mannerisms. Facial grimacing is also present with stuttering. Eye blinks are also present. Abnormal head movements are also associated with the stuttering. Like lot of people simply for saying soda, they need so that's stuttering. They cannot speak in one regular straight pattern. They stutter. Disfluency of speech. Between 2 to 4 years, prevented by proper education of the parents not to overreact to child disfluency. Proper teaching is important. If the child starts stuttering, we need to give confidence to the child, so they should not stutter. We should give the speech therapy to these children to control their stuttering, so it not be a permanent disorder. So it can be prevented by the education of the parent. So they should not overreact to child disfluency. Treatment is speech therapy. Psychotherapy is also important. It reduces the child fear of disfluency. Psychotherapy is important. Children who are emotionally unstable, they are not stable, and the different children who have fear of different things, slowly they start stuttering. So that's psychotherapy is very important in this condition. So this can reduce the fear that if they stutter, usually they stop talking because of this disfluency or stuttering, because people laugh at them and they don't understand the problem. So this is very, very important that they should have a psychotherapy, so that reduce the fear of the disfluency. That concludes our lecture topic, disorders of speech and voice, in which we talked in detail different disorders, including the ventricular dysphonias, functional aphonias, hoarseness of the voice. Then we talked about the stuttering and different disorders, adductor dysphonia, abductor dysphonia, mixed type of dysphonia. So hopefully you learned a lot about the different disorders of the speech and voice. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.